Hello, welcome to part 6 of making a bee journal. Now I'm just going through this. So we made the pockets, we made the over the page scrapbook, whatever you want to call them. We made some tags with vellum. I've put some stickers on, I've put some little gold bars on the top. As you can see, I've put little gold bars throughout. I didn't show you how to make that, but if I've got time I will. I've put some tabs in the journal. This one's the over the page, so we've got pockets on that side, can be moved. I didn't sew the pages in quite as straight as I would have liked to. What else have we done? Alright, okay, so this was the one I made and we did some stamping. So this is the matchbook, and it just fits in the wee tabs there, the pockets, and it's got beautiful on it. So we'll do that. I'm also going to try and do my cover as well today. So it's all ready. So what I did, again, it's the same, it's the sheet 8 1/4. I turned it up 3.5 centimeters, or I think that's 7/16, just under 2.5, and I turned it over at the top on 3 3/4 or 6.5 centimeters. I cut the pages, well, torn them just to fit in. Now they're too long there, they can't go too far in, because what's happened, because it's a matchbook, this is going to get stitched down and you won't be able to. So what we need to do is we need to take some of these off. So if I put my pages straight on this, and just rip them off. I'm getting better at this. And then I've got some little scraps. So these go in there. This gets stitched down, but it all tucks in. So what I'm going to do is the same as over the page flap. I'm going to stitch it. I'll stitch these in here, and then we're going to decorate it. So I will go offline while I do the stitching. So I'll see you in a bit. So hi, I'm back. So I've stitched it in. I stitched that one on that side. So these just fit in there now. I'm just going to cut all the threads off. As I say, I don't like the threads. Some people like them hanging. My scissors are getting a bit blunt for cutting cotton. That's because I've cut paper with them for years. These are just Fiskars scissors that I've had probably about 10-15 years. Now one of the things that I did do when I made the first one was, when I stitched it, I stitched it all the way down and along, but you can't because this has to flap up, so I have to undo it a little bit. Right, so we've got some bits of vellum, and that one again has been, I don't know whether you can see it, it's been embossed ever so slightly, and I'm just using glitter glue. I don't always use art glitter glue, sometimes I use Anita's tacky glue. It's just as good, I would say. Not a lot of water content, and it is a lot cheaper than art glitter glue. And also I'm waiting on the Collal glue, because that's very similar to Fabri-Tac and 3-in-1 by Beacon. They're acetone based, so they're good for material. Now what I was going to do was put a pocket on here, but I don't know whether I will. I don't think I will. I think I'll save that for something else. So that's the little tag. We'll see what we've got in here to go on it. These are just got be kind, be wonderful, you are the bee's knees. We've got that. Queen bee, be positive, beautiful. I think we'll have be positive. So I'll just ink this up. And again, art glitter glue. When I'm using it, I just keep it laid down so that it doesn't go back into the bottle, and then you're having to wait till it runs down to the tip again. So we'll another one for the journal. So we've got quite a bit now for the journal. So what I want to do now is I want to have a go at making the cover. I will embellish this and I will show it on the final flip through, because there is an awful lot of like reminders. There's all sorts in the kit. There's the queen bee. There's lots of little envelopes and things to make tags with, so those will all be put in. So as I said earlier, I did manage to get some Amazon packaging. Now what I have done is I've measured it. It does fit the journal. I don't want to flap over the to go round, but what I do like is I like all this showing part of the corrugated bits, and I've had fun pulling this off. But it doesn't matter if it all comes off, it just gives it a nice texture. And as I say, I'm going to put gesso over it and paint it in a nice yellowy colour. So I'm just going to get my mat. These are just the coupe mats that you can use in trays. They wash brilliantly. And it's just a normal paintbrush. The gesso I use, I got from the works. I've had to add water to it because it did harden up a bit. I'd left the lid off. Cost me a £5. So And I have been using this brush for gesso, so it is a little bit stiff. Now I want to cover this because this is like a primer. And it does go a long way. I will put some paint over the top. It's acrylic paint, it's just cheap paint. I sometimes get it from Hobby Lobby, The Works, B&M's, Tesco's, just your local supermarkets. To me it all works the same. I mean, I'm not an artist, although I do like doing some watercolours, and basically this year it's just been bees and pumpkins that I've watercoloured. The pumpkins I used for the autumn journal that I did, and I just like to paint them, scan them in, and then use them on my paper designs. So my next project after this, I'm going to do a travel journal. After Christmas, mid-January, going out to Cyprus for 8 weeks just to have a bit of warm weather. It's not roasting out there, you can get a tan, but we go to a place called Argaka in Paphos, and there's not a lot there. There's a couple of restaurants, there's a beach. So what I'm going to do is, I always do like an itinerary, well not an itinerary, a day-to-day diary when I've travelled. And I did do one last year, and we actually only went out to Cyprus for 2 weeks, but we got stuck in COVID, so we were out there for 6 weeks. So that's what's made us want to go out for longer. This year we might as well, because when we came back and we went out in October, we didn't come back until December, and that's when the weather kind of starts. We were living in Cumbria at the time, but now we're back in Scotland. I mean, the weather does get cold in Scotland, really cold. If you can suffer a winter in Scotland, you can suffer a winter anywhere. Although my husband comes from upstate New York, so he's used to colder weather than this. They usually get about 5 feet of snow, but he's been in this country for 40 years. So probably it's like just slightly exaggerated when he talks about the snow, but I know it does last for a good few months, not a couple of weeks like it does here. Everything seems to come to a standstill here when the snow starts. I've walked into work many a time when I've not been able to get the car out. And it's exciting for the first couple of days, and then after the first couple of days of walking into work, you think, why, yeah, Wally, what did you do that for? Everybody else is off. Right, okay, so now what we need to do is we need to let that dry. I'm going to have a go at drying it with my heat tool, but I will do that offline. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Hi, it's not totally dry, but it's dry enough for me to do a bit of painting. I've not even washed my brush because it'll be fine. I'm just going to use it again with this. As I say, this is the Works white acrylic paint. And we'll have a bit of yellow. Oh. just get that. And maybe it's a bit of gold. This is just some cheap gold that I got from somewhere. So I'm not quite sure. If it's too bright, you can darken it down with gold, or you can lighten it with gesso again. I just want a nice yellowy bee journal. I'm going to put paper on the inside, so I don't need to do that. So we'll do. We'll just try gold on this one. See what's what. Ah, that's more like it. You can tell I'm not a painter, can't you? When we moved back to Scotland, before our furniture came up, the house was empty for a week. So me and my husband decided to put some more gold on. Decided we would decorate. It's just painted walls. There's no wallpaper or anything. Oh, well. We wished we'd never started. We were in two minds whether to get somebody in to finish it off, but my daughter came. She loves painting. I don't mind crafting, but I'm not over keen on painting. Okay, so this is Adirondack butterscotch. So we'll just do a bit of a mix. I'm making a right old mess here. Should have maybe got a sponge in and started doing some fancy bits. Like these are Cosmic Shimmer Explosion powders. I love messing about. Sorry, I'm out of focus. And that one was gold. This one's white pearl. And I've got some water here. Right. And if we can put some more. But don't go too daft, Julie, otherwise you'll end up throwing it out. Or it'll get all soggy. Oh, that's kind of disguised that now, but it should have when it dries. some gold in it. I'm just going to get the edges. Once it's dry, I'm going to actually sew around the edges. I've sewn around cardboard before. My machine's quite forgiving. It's an old Toyota, it's not a new. I've not done dressmaking for years. Anyway, so I'm going to dry this and get cleaned up, and I'll be back. Okay, see you in a bit. Hi, I'm back. My journal's dry, but what I'm doing at the moment is I'm going to stitch my journal. I'm using the pamphlet stitch. I'll have a bit of light, sorry. I've been away for a while, so because I made one heck of a mess. As you can see, my fingers are yellow. I tried to clean up the Adirondack colour wash butterscotch, and it was all over the sink in the bathroom, and not realising it was all over my hands as well, so something we crafters have to put up with. Now, one of the things, this is the journal so far, so it is quite a pretty colour. Now, what I did do is, I am going to put paper in here, but I did put a piece of cardboard on down the spine just to reinforce it a little bit. Now, I don't want to stitch through here, so what I'm doing is I've just got another piece of cardboard which I am going to stitch to this, and then what I'll do is I'll stick that into the journal. I've done that before and it works. So I'm just going to put the holes into my journal first. So I need a pokey tool. Now you can do this, you can measure it. All I'm doing is I'm putting a hole in the middle, right through, and then one there, and you can see it coming through. And one there. It's a rough guide. And then I'll close it up. Now I am going to put a sketchbook in this as well, so I will put some elastic in the book. So that should have, that's about middle. That'll do. So I want some wax thread. Get my needle out. I've got a great big bodkin in there. I don't think I need that. I'll just use this one now. This this was a pack that I got from Amazon, and it was just it's called a bookbinding kit. And it come with 4 wax threads, fancy scissors, needles in a pack, a ruler, pokey tool, and it came in a little cardboard box. But this is one of the containers that you buy wall hangings from IKEA, and it has compartments, and I used it, but I thought it was quite cool for that, for all my bookbinding stuff. So that's where it lives. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it in the middle and keep hold of a piece of thread, then go down to the side, up and through there. You can pull it tight once it's through, and then through that one. Now I've just moved that because that wasn't stuck down. That's it. That's not in the middle. I'm having more problems getting it through the cardboard. As I say, the cardboard's just an anchor for me to stick the journal to the spine. And then what I need to do is I need to put this back in here without the needle going through the thread. So I've got hold of the needle. And just pull that thread up. Now the thread's through, but I've got the thread on the same side as the stitch in the middle, so I've put the thread so there's one either side, and just tie a knot in that. And I don't need to leave any of the string hanging because I am going to glue that envelope up. And as I say, that envelope was a freebie from Artie May's. The little bumblebees on the acetate are from my drawings, but Artie May's does have some bumblebees that you can print off on acetate as a freebie. I don't know whether it's on her, I think it's her Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, she also has them in her Etsy store, but obviously you get more. I think she charges you £1 or something, I don't know. But you get a lot more for it. So that's the journal. Just let me put these needles away, and then I'm not dropping them all over. Put my pins in, and that's my so that's the journal. So there's the, and that will get painted at some point. So what I've done is I've taken all the I thought I'd taken all the tags out and all the envelopes out. No, I'm just making sure that everything is stitched in right. So you can see that was a wee embellishment using all the wee bits of cotton that I keep cutting off my tags. It's just orange and black. Oh. just about stitched that in there. What I'll do is I'll put a little bead on the end of that. That was something I stitched in. That was a die. I think it's Elizabeth's dies or something. She does a lot of TN, sort of like dies for Traveller's Notebook. And that's for putting the bee samples in. I just covered it with paper on that side and put it's got bits of glue stuck on it. So obviously we'll put something in there. What I might do is I might extend that. Excuse me. Put a little extension on that, or I might stick one of the tags to it. Yeah, because I could cut that off. That would be quite nice, actually. And pockets. As I say, I will go through a flip through with this. So now we've got this all dried, what I am going to do is I am going to put some paper in this. So I haven't decided what paper I'm going to put in. It's just whatever I've got left. I've still got some of the I might do something different with that. I'm going to use paper. These are just my scrap bits. So I think we'll use that one. So this is my measuring. I think all those crafters are the same. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll be back when I've cut these. Okay, I'm back. So I've picked the 2 pieces of paper that I want. I think I'll put that one there. So I am going to stitch this, so I'm just going to put it down with some of this glue. So I don't need an awful lot. It saves me clagging it on. I don't think it likes to stick on with on that gesso. I don't think the glue likes it. Well, the glue stick doesn't. But once it's stitched on, it will be fine. Alright, so I'm going to stitch that on, so I'll be back when I've done that. So see you. I am back. So that's it stitched. Ran out of thread. Got a visit from my granddaughter. So it's been a while. I'm quite pleased with that, because what I've done is I've got the black thread on the top and it's like an orangey yellowy thread on the back, so that's what's come through. So now what we need to do is we need to stick this down and I will do this with fabric tack. So I'm just putting, and I will need to leave this overnight to dry. So all I've got to do now is just to decorate the front of the cover, decide if I'm putting any pockets inside the covers. I might not, but what I will do is it'll be when I'll do the flip through and I'll go through everything I've done, everything I've added on extra. So it'll just be the sort of like the decorating of it. I've got some hexagon shapes for the front cover, because they're like the honeycomb shapes. And what I'll do is they've been cut out a craft card, so I'm going to cover them in like a gold, and just place one or two of them on there, and I'll put a bumblebee on the front. And I've actually to do the label plate for the front, because I'm going to call it the Lily Bee Journal, because the girl that it's going to is called Lily. So I'm going to call it the Lily Bee Journal. So I think that's stuck, but what I'll do is I'll leave it. Also, I've got this. I don't know whether I'm going to use that yet. And I don't know how I'm going to fix it. I don't know whether to put a grommet in, or just stick it down and put the plate over. But there is enough just to tie it. So that's everything. So thank you very much for joining me. And again, if you would like to see more journals, I am going to Cyprus in January. I'm going to be there for 8 weeks. I'm taking my phone, that's what I use as my camera, and my little media light and everything. I'm going to design a travel kit before I go, because I always like to make a diary. So I will be filming a travel kit. I'm not sure if I'll do it in traveller's notebook size or normal journal. Probably will be travel notebook size. And they're easy just to make your own little notebooks to go in. And I might even have a go at drawing on and sketching on video. We'll see. I'll take some paints. I always take my watercolours with me. But once again, thank you very much. And if you would like to subscribe or give me a thumbs up, I would be most appreciated. Thank you. Bye.